Is this the next big thing in tech, or just another overhyped gadget? In today's video, we'll break it down, put it to the test, and find out whether it lives up to the buzz surrounding it. The Gigabyte Aero X16 is positioned as a powerful, yet portable machine built for content creators, offering AMD's Ryzen AI 7 350 processor paired with NVIDIA's RTX 5060 graphics at a starting price of around $1,450. On paper, it looks like a compelling choice for creative professionals who need both CPU horsepower and GPU acceleration in a slim package, but in real world testing, the laptop shows both strengths and weaknesses that highlight its potential, as well as its limitations. The design of the Aero X16 makes an excellent first impression, with a solid metal lid and base plate that provide durability and a premium feel. The branding is minimal, with a simple Gigabyte logo, reflecting the professional audience the laptop is targeting. Opening the device reveals a plastic keyboard deck that helps reduce weight, though it feels less premium compared to the metal exterior. The hinge mechanism is compact but does not open to a full 180 degrees, which may occasionally limit flexibility. Port selection is fairly comprehensive for both office and creative work, but the placement is not ideal. Having the headphone jack and a USB port on the right side can interfere with mouse usage, and the absence of an SD card slot is a serious omission for creators who often rely on direct media transfers. On the bright side, the keyboard and touchpad deliver an excellent experience. The keyboard has deep key travel, crisp feedback, and a well-balanced layout without a number pad, comparable to gaming laptops like the Lenovo Legion series. It includes single-zone RGB backlighting, which, while basic, still adds flair. The touchpad is equally impressive, with a smooth surface, accurate tracking, and responsive clicks, easily good enough for productivity without requiring a mouse. The 16-inch display is another strong point, with a 2560 by 1600 resolution, 165 Hz refresh rate, and full sRGB coverage. Motion handling is smooth and fluid, especially useful for video editing and gaming, though color accuracy remains neutral rather than tuned for high-end color grading. For photo and video editors who need professional-grade accuracy, calibration or an external monitor will still be necessary. Performance, however, is where the Aero X16 reveals both brilliance and flaws. The Ryzen AI 7350 is allowed to run at up to 80W, producing impressive multi-core results around 17,400 points in Cinebench R23, comparable to much higher-tier processors like Intel's Core i7-12700H or AMD's own Ryzen 9 8945HS. Even when unplugged and running at reduced wattage, the CPU maintains solid performance, showing that efficiency per watt is excellent. However, this comes with a trade-off, as CPU temperatures easily reach 100°C under heavy load, suggesting Gigabyte could have capped power at around 60W for better thermals, while reallocating extra headroom to the GPU. Speaking of the GPU, the RTX 5060 inside is limited to an 85W TGP, which prevents it from reaching its full potential. In synthetic benchmarks, performance varies. It outperforms RTX 4060 in some ray tracing tests, but falls behind in traditional workloads like 3D Mark Time Spy. In gaming, results are mixed. Cyberpunk 2077 with ray tracing and frame generation runs smoothly at 100 FPS in Full HD. But when frame generation is off, performance drops to just 33 FPS, showing how heavily it relies on the latest AI-driven frame technology. Other titles like PUBG and Forza Horizon 5 perform well at 120,180 FPS depending on settings, which is competitive for its class. Though the RTX 5060 here doesn't always outpace higher TGP RTX 4060 configurations. Where the laptop really struggles is storage. The included 1TB Kingston SSD exhibits highly inconsistent write speeds, sometimes plummeting to a few hundred MBs. This directly impacts workflows like video rendering and large file transfers, where a project that should take 6 minutes can instead take over 8. Because of the sluggish save process, external SSDs prove much faster, underlining how the internal drive acts as a bottleneck. For creative workloads, this inconsistency can be frustrating and undermines the otherwise strong CPU and GPU pairing. In productivity and content creation benchmarks, the Aero X16 performs well. Puget Bench for Photoshop shows outstanding results, even surpassing some flagship gaming laptops with more powerful GPUs. But in Premiere Pro, performance is average due to the SSD limitations. Lightroom handling is acceptable for batch editing, but export times lag compared to alternatives like Apple's MacBook lineup, which remains more efficient for heavy photo editing tasks. Battery life is serviceable but not standout. The 76 watt-hours battery manages around 5 hours of video playback, or 3 to 4 hours of active work, which is decent considering the 2K 165Hz display and high wattage CPU. Users on the go will need to carry the charger for extended sessions. Overall, the Gigabyte Aero X16 is a strong contender in the creator laptop market, combining solid design, an excellent keyboard and touchpad, and powerful CPU performance in a slim package. The RTX 5060 GPU delivers solid results, but is somewhat underutilized, and the lack of an SD card slot plus the inconsistent SSD performance hold it back from being a perfect solution. For $1,450, it offers great value for creators who prioritize CPU performance and general productivity. But for those needing flawless rendering or professional-grade color work, it still leaves room for improvement.